Alright, I'm back. I did learn this. I use a Canon M50 EOS mirrorless camera for these things. And I got crazy and bought another battery. Well, I bought two batteries actually, and it came with a little two battery charger, a little screen to tell you how they're charged. The batteries are bigger. They do generally last longer than the battery that came with the camera, which it lasted really well. But anywho, all I have to say is the Canon battery goes from full, you can see like the little bars go down, whereas these off-brand, another brand, however you want to call it, batteries do not. They just go from full to blinking red to off very quickly. So you have that. Anywho, back to this. Back to the fundamentals of lifting the C off, pressing the C. Lifting the C, well, this is all just trying to create some muscle memory. Because for sports analogy, this would literally be like shooting free throws. You're doing a very simple task over and over again to get the muscle memory down. Granted, there's a lot more moving parts than shooting a basketball, but it's the same concept of muscle memory, foundations, building blocks. And once you get it, become automatic. I figure once I get this, and the other 4 notes I know memorized, I can probably put my strumming together. And a tune might actually come out. So this type of little tedious practice, it's good to do at least one on camera so you can kind of see that not all guitar practice is glamorous and jamming and rocking and, work on the strumming and hearing something. Sometimes it's just as simple as feeling the strings, All that being said, not knowing how long this process is going to take, I might do this for at least one more video. But I might try to get adventurous and practice this finger memorization off camera some. Just kind of sit in my living room chair and just hold this note, lift it. I'm actually going through the Star Wars series. I could sit there and watch Star Wars and just lift this note up and down. Got to be careful though. You have to make sure I'm watching and making sure I'm getting the right ones. Hate to memorize it wrong per se, but yeah. But that's what the YouTuber guy said would be beneficial. He said he was a lot better guitar player than me. That makes sense. Got to set all 3 fingers down pretty instantly. You don't have time to do a 1, 2, 3 combo. Just think all these people, musicians you see playing their guitars, strumming. What was that, church, radio, TV? They probably sat in their living room doing this exact Same exercise. I also learned you gotta get your back thumb right to get your fingers curled around. So part of what I'm doing is just trying to play with what's a sustainable, reliable grip. It's so unnatural for my fingers to curl around and do this motion, so it's tricky. Whew. Like I said, it gets like you overthink it, and these divots. Oh, maybe the camera can zoom in on it, focus on it. It gets really deep. And then that starts to hurt. Still waiting for the calluses to build up, you know? I was wondering if I overpress the strings, but then it's like, well. Oh, we are going through the Star Wars series, so a lot of controversy, or not controversy, but debate on which way to watch it, the release date, movie chronological order, you know, a lot of different ways to skin that cat. We chose to kind of do, I guess, the release date for the most part. So we did episodes 4, 5, and 6, the original 3. And then we went back and called it 1, 2, and 3. And then we did a Star Wars story. Still trying to figure out the difference between Star Wars episodes and the story. So far I noticed the stories, they don't have the theme song at the beginning. They don't have the yellow text. Word story flying. Anywho, watch Han Solo. And then tonight, we just got done watching Rogue One. So after this, I guess we're on to episode 7. I think looking back on it, if I were to do this again a couple years or whenever, I would probably try to watch them in the plot order. Start at, I can't remember when Han Solo come in, but maybe even start with Han's Solo, and then do episode 1, 2, 3, Rogue One, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I know the CG will be off. It's not how Lucas wanted it done. Blah blah blah. But who's to say? I heard one rumor he started with 4, 5, 6 because he didn't think CG and the graphics and special effects was good enough to pull off 1, 2, and 3 back when he made these things. So who's to say that the technology was there, that he wouldn't have released them in movie sequence? I don't know. Granted, the Star Wars stories are just fun side context, little money grab for somebody. but good entertainment. So yeah. I'll say Rogue One is kind of, I guess this can't be spoiler alert since I think Rogue One came out 2016. It's 2020. If you haven't seen Star Wars by now, my golly, get on Disney Plus and just start watching. Rogue One was a nice little fill in the blank between episodes 3 and 4 on how they came to get the Death Star plans, because at 4 just started off with R2-D2, you know, driving around with the plans. Hiding the plans, I don't know. Episode 3 ended with, Darth Vader coming to be. I think there's murmurs of a Death Star. But. So yeah. Gah! Look at that. I feel like. Oh wait. I feel like Rogue One definitely helped fill in some of those blanks. You see them divots? Fire! You hear my kids in the background. Another side story, good story time when you're just lifting up your fingers, is right before I started filming this, my wife said, "Eric, why isn't the Google Home Mini video screen not working?" I said, "I don't know." So I walked over there, found out the back cable just slightly came unplugged, so it didn't have any power. Well, and she was like, "Well, I checked to make sure it's plugged in." I was like, "Well, did you check both ends?" And so I was giving her a hard time that she only checked half of the power cable. She suspected something could have been wrong with electrical, but didn't check both ends. And so she was about to come over here and razzle me. So I quickly shut and locked the door. She said, "Don't lock that room." No one ever locked me out of a room. First time I ever did it. Very brief. She's like, "I'm going to mess with your phone." And so I was like, "Well, what are you going to do to it?" She wasn't sure. But that was enough for me to open up the door. So then she walked away, went back to the bathroom. And the kids started firing up. And I was like, "Well, at least the girls got my back. You already said I could go practice right now. And now the girls are letting you have it." So she's out there battling the girls. I think they got riled up to defend Daddy. But Daddy's about to go out there and help out. One, my fingers are burning. Two, my guitar stamina practicing hasn't really gained too much over the last 40 days of doing this. So I'm still at the slow and steady. I'm sure once I get notes going and stringing some chords together, start maybe actually sing a song or do 2 notes back to back with strumming, might be able to tolerate playing longer, but just doing this wears you out. So yeah, I'm gonna keep practicing. Hopefully I'll find it in me to practice some of this off camera. Try to do a little turbo speed. But really, thanks for listening. That's where I'm at in this guitar playing, just trying to memorize guitar note shapes. It's tricky. And raise 2 little girls. Keep up with work, keep up with the coronavirus, staying isolated, doing all those things. So, yeah. Keep it real, keep it fun. See you next time.